you're a scalper, you know what it's like to win, and you also know what it's like to lose. Today's video, I'm going to run down what happened this morning on our snap trades system with QQQ, and I want to show you guys what happened here this morning and when we got in, when we got out. So the system triggered right here on this opening range break. So essentially, this is what the system does. It gives us a range from, and if you haven't seen any of our prior videos, I'm just going to kind of briefly go through this. It gives us a range the first 15 minutes, right? So this is the top, this is the bottom. Once it actually breaks this range, we'll go ahead and get in our trade either to the upside or downside. If the momentum is below this line right here, which it was. And so this was a perfect entry for the downside. Honestly, this looked very weak. And in fact, it ended up being weak, right? It ended up coming down all the way to 619.31 at one point. And so what happened here? What exactly happened? Why did we get in? Why did we get out? So the first thing is we got in right here at the close. And so as soon as there's a candle close outside of the range, we go ahead and get in that position. And then from here, these are only 5-minute candles, and what a recovery it was the next 5 minutes. This was a big volume candle. And so this triggered our stop out right here. So in fact, so the option that I was in, it was just a very short dated option. It was about $70 loss. So really not that bad. In hindsight, it could be way worse because if you're a scalper, you know this, right? You know that if it can cut, because when it comes into this, it could easily then break this range, and it wanted to. It looked like it was going to. So right here, it bounced off of this line, and then it almost came up into the range to break it, but it never could, and eventually made its way back down. So probably around at this point, we would have been in profit if we would have held that. But you know, that's just part of scalping. That's just part of, trading. You win some and you lose some. This one was a loss, but it would have been a really nice win here if we would have just held a little bit longer. So is there a takeaway to this?